All right, so one of my good friends, Static E23, told me that I should do a video explaining a lot of things that I think are really basic in a fighting game, but maybe some other people may not understand. So we're gonna start with one of the main things that I notice when I'm watching my friends in a endless lobby, or what they call it, a custom lobby in this game, and it's dealing with zoning. All right. Now, historically, when I play fighting games, I've always played zoners. But around 2016, Injustice came out, or maybe that was 2017, Injustice came out, and I said, man, I'm just going to step out, put my foot into some other waters, and I'm going to try grapplers. And I tried Bane, and, more games came along and I kept playing characters that aren't grapplers. So here I am at Street Fighter 6 and I play Manon. So I should have a decent amount of experience dealing with zoners and not being able to zone back. So if you just so happen to have a character that can throw a projectile, not only can you take this information, but you also can add into the information your own of having a zoner yourself. So now, when you're dealing with a zoner, where you're at in the match, I mean, as far as position, spacing, it's going to decide how hard the matchup is to you. Now, what I mean by that is when you're dealing with Guile, you could be anywhere on the screen. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're right here versus Guile, then you're playing Guile. But if you're here versus Guile, you're playing the matchup. All right. And that's just my opinion. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to say this. Take everything I say with a grain of salt because, look, I didn't go to Evo. I'm putting in the stacked information I have from playing tournaments in the past. All right. And I'm telling you, as a person that used to be zoner, how to deal with zoning. So, why do you stand here is the question. The reason you stand here is because, and nothing even has to happen, y'all. This is the main thing that you need to understand. You have to stand here no matter what you're doing because you always want to present the threat of a jump in. All right. If you don't present the threat of a jump in, then the fireballs come free. All right. So when you're standing right here, nothing is going to stop Guile from throwing fireballs unless you have a character specific option that deals with fireballs. When you're standing here, he's not going to let up. Let alone if you stand right here, he's likely going to do his Sonic Blade and then throw a fireball on top of it, which will get you hit 3 to 4 times. So if you're here, I'm going to talk about what we can do, but not in this video. What we're going to talk about in this video is why you should stand right here. And you're standing right here because you always want to be in range of a jump in. So with that being said, Guile is taking the biggest risk throwing a fireball, not you. Okay, so made a mistake and hit the button, but fireball probably does 600 damage. Okay, if you jump in on Guile, you easily get 20% of his life. So you as a player, you need to know the max range of your jump in. All right, you see that? You see how far I jumped in on Guile? You need to know that as a player. Now, Guile, he has no reason to know that. So that may be one of your biggest strengths is jumping in much farther than Guile expects. But regardless, Guile has a flash kick. You can't just jump in until he's doing something. So what you want to be looking for, and let's get Guile back in the middle of the screen, okay? Because the corner works different. But we're talking about in the middle of the screen. So in the middle of the screen, when you're dealing with zoning, as long as you can stay here, you're not only in range for a jump in, but if Guile throws a Sonic Boom, and not a Sonic Blade, but a Sonic Boom, you can focus attack him. Or, hold on, what should I, drive impact him, okay? So, that is the main reason you want to stand here, and that's character dependent, however far your drive impact reaches. You want to stay in range to where Guile he's taking the biggest risk throwing the fireball. Now, once you get in this close, hey, hopefully that's where you want to be anyway. But if Guile has the pressure on you, you can't do anything. But regardless, you dealt with the fireballs. I'm not going to teach you how to beat Guile in this one video, but I'm going to tell you the main thing most people try to figure out with Guile. they're trying to fight Guile and getting frustrated, and it's because their positioning is wrong. All right, you have to fight Guile where it's your strength, or better yet, you cut his legs off from under him. So as long as you're standing right here in this range, you know, jumping range, as long as you're standing in jumping range, Guile, he can throw fireballs, but he needs to think about it. All right, so you know what? We could do a part 2, and I'll show you examples on how this works in the matchup.